Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry. Today, Irene and I got some more of the beds cleaned up outside, and then I spent some time going grocery shopping, going to the hardware store, going to the post office, picking up packages at the service station. So it's a busy afternoon. Now there's a few things I wish I'd known about Starlink before I bought. Well, not really so much before I bought, but there's a few things that if you're going to buy Starlink, you need to know. Number one, if you're going to buy an accessory, it looks like it takes about 30 days for an order to get to you. I placed an order for the necessary pieces to mount the Starlink antenna where it needs to be. I ordered those 30 days ago. They just came in. Well, I'm glad they're here, but I really wish they'd been here a couple of weeks ago because now I have a big box of other stuff in the office waiting to be installed. I'm going to be installing what's called a mesh network. The reason for that is pretty simple. The Starlink antenna needs to be up on our utility building, which is 40 feet from the house. I'm not going to dig another trench to run an Ethernet cable between that building and this building, so I'm going to run a network, a Wi-Fi network between the buildings. That's great. There's only one problem. From the time I ordered Starlink 14 months ago, what they were going to ship changed. I really didn't pay much attention to that. I was just when Starlink came, and I'd deal with it then. Well, the Starlink came in, and it was the second version, which is fine. I don't object to that. But what they did do that was a problem was they removed an Ethernet connection from their router. Now the router goes to the satellite antenna and then goes to the router. The router should be able to connect to an Ethernet port. Now it can't. It used to be able to, but now what they require you to do is buy a separate adapter that goes on the outside and then attaches to the router. Okay. No big deal, except it took 30 days to get here. Oh, and the mounting pole took 30 days to get here. And in the meantime, I have all the bits and pieces necessary to wire everything up in the office, waiting for those parts to come. Well, they're here. What else do I wish? Well, I wish they'd told me to start with that they were only going to ship a base for that antenna that was appropriate to do a trial. It really can't be configured to go on top of my house or my utility building, so it's essentially not useful. It's a waste. It's okay, we're using it right now and it works all right. The other thing I wish I'd known is I wish I knew that that router did not have an external antenna. The reason why that's important is because a lot of times those internal antennas don't broadcast as far, or they don't broadcast as well as a router with external antennas. Well, that's the case with this Starlink router. Well, that's okay when I get all this other stuff put together, but in the meantime, it's a pain. I can't get the Starlink router connected to my office computer. Irene can use it just fine in the kitchen, which is where she does a lot of her online work. So, that was another thing I wish I'd known. I wish I'd known that they were going to increase the monthly price. Well, I kind of suspected that was going to happen because there's not a long-term contract, and that's great, but it also leaves you at risk for price increases. Now, the good side of Starlink is that it has a much faster response time between when a signal goes from our house to the satellite antenna to the low Earth orbit satellite and back down to the ground. We get about 50 milliseconds. That's not a whole lot. People who are gamers are going to be upset by that, but in comparison to 800 or 900 milliseconds, we're perfectly happy. It means that all of our web pages load faster, our email comes down faster, everything is faster. Do I care about the absolute speed? Not really, not now. Later on, when I'm using Starlink as the workhorse for uploading YouTube videos, I'm going to care. But there's some tricks that can be done to speed up the download. Are there other things that I wish I'd known about Starlink? Yeah, a little more information about how the satellite antenna connects to the mounting points would have been nice. Knowing which mounting system was appropriate for our homestead would have been nice. But unfortunately, they don't disclose a lot of that detail on their website. So I had to take my best shot. I've ordered it. I have it. Now I have to figure out how to put it on the utility building. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications because there's a lot more stuff going on. Not only is all the mesh hardware stacked up, I have other projects that are stacked up because other things are missing. The wind came up again this afternoon. Made it a little difficult to do more work, but that was okay because I was in the car. Now, we don't talk about it a lot, but we have a series of links in every one of our show notes to various products that we use here on the homestead. If you're going to buy things like that, there's no additional cost to you to go through those links. It helps support our channel. It gives us a small amount of a commission when a sale is made, but it helps tremendously. So we'd appreciate it if you could take a look. And if you're going to buy something, especially gardening products, if you'd order through our Amazon affiliate links, it would be wonderful. We'll talk with you later. Bye. And keep brainstorming. We do.